Hello friends, this is Dr. Kishore Bhanushali. I am working as a Director Academic Administration with United World School of Business, Karnataka University, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Today we are going to talk about how to integrate technology into classroom teaching. So before we proceed, I would like to thank Professor GSK for inviting me for these wonderful sessions and giving me these opportunities. I am also thankful to you all the participants to be joining us with us. Let's proceed. What technology is and how can we bring technology into classroom? Now, because of this COVID, the way we have been living our life has changed, and that change also in our education system also. The way we shopping have changed, the way we teach, the way we do job, the way we live. Similarly, the way we teach the classroom has already changed. Now there is nothing called physical classroom. Everybody is working on a virtual platform. And this is a classical example. Sitting in Ahmedabad, I am taking session with all you guys who are from different states of Gujarat. This is possible because of technology. And this is nothing but integration of technology into classroom teaching. So let's talk about why it is important. You might have seen this image, and if you try to recall this image, it will take back you to your school days. We had an experiment. Magnet attract iron material, and the success of that experiment depends on few things. Number one, quality of magnet, quality of iron material, and third is distance between these two. If magnet is of great quality, iron is of not so great quality, experiment may not succeed. It also depends on the distance between magnet and iron material. So if you keep your iron material at this level and magnet maybe 5 feet above, experiment will not be successful. This is nothing but what we do in the class. In the classroom environment, your teacher, somebody call it faculty, somebody call it professor, mentor, guide, they are magnet, and students, learners, they are all iron material. And experiment will be successful when the knowledge passes from teacher, faculty, mentor, guide to a learner. So that knowledge transformation is required, and this success of that knowledge transformation depends on quality of professors, quality of students, and over and above the distance between these two. If you go back to your old pre-COVID classroom, then students are there, teacher was also there, the distance was minimum, and that was the great thing that we have enjoyed. But now because of COVID, there is a huge distance between iron material and magnet. My students are across India. I am sitting somewhere in one corner of my room. Still we want to make this experiment a success. And what can help you in achieving this success is nothing but technology. If you talk about technology, this is a classic example. You have seen this blackboard. It was old days. This blackboard was a real situation. So when you say classroom, nobody can think of classroom without a blackboard. We used to call it a blackboard because the color was black and there was white chalk which we used to write. And then the technology shifted. So from blackboard we moved to green board, which was made up of glass. The writing was smooth, it was easy, rubbing was easy. Technology advanced further and we moved to whiteboard. So board becomes white and markup becomes black. Okay, that was nothing but a transformation of technology. And with the blackboard and different color of marker pens, teaching was made more effective. And today we are talking about digital board. This is what technological transformation is. And all of us, we were part of this technology change. So if we have moved from blackboard to digital board, it means as a teacher, as a mentor, as a guide, we are ready to accept that change. Only thing that happened because of COVID is there was sudden shift. The change was a bit drastic. it was not predictable. We call it a VUCA environment. Okay, volatile, uncertain kind of environment that we talk about. So that was a change. And if you want to make that experiment success, you need to adapt the change. And look at this classroom. So we had a classroom, if you get top right image. So we had that classroom also. If you look at the bottom left image, that is also a classroom, and bottom right image, this is also a classroom. This is nothing but different kind of classrooms. And every classroom objective was clear. So when you say classroom, it's not nothing but a place where teacher and student, trainer and learner, mentor and mentee sit together, come across, discuss, and then knowledge transformation takes place. So the purpose of classroom was transformation of a knowledge. For whom? It was for the student. Because it is the responsibility of the teacher to make sure that whatever knowledge he has gained over a period of time should be transformed to student. So the purpose of classroom was student. The classroom was meant for students. Okay. So the classroom, because of COVID, the classroom environment may change. There are no students in any of these three kind of classroom. Now what kind of classroom we have? You might have seen these images in social media. This is nothing but teachers are adapting to technologies. So people found their ways and means to create their own classroom. And when you talk of this classroom, ultimately objective was to reach out to students. Okay, you might have seen these images also. Okay, both the images very well circulated in social media. So teachers are at one place. There is a blackboard as well, whiteboard is also there, but using the technology, teacher is reaching out to student so that the knowledge transformation takes place in real sense. So let's talk of somewhat a theoretical base as well. What is technology integration in education? So when you say integration of technology in education, it simply refers to use of technology to enhance students' learning experience. Students want to learn, that's why they are students. You want to make that students' learning more effective, and for that you are using technology. We have been using technology in the classroom. Projectors were used, we had overhead projectors, then we had a smart boards. Those were the technological change. Utilizing different types of technology in the classroom, which include virtual classroom. We are going to talk about Google Classrooms. I will give you some technique which we have been using in the classroom, which creates a learner more engaged in learning process. Because technology has that potential. With the kind of generation we are talking about, they are techno-savvy generations. So if you connect them through technology, there are better chance of getting them engaged. So technology will engage them in the entire learning process. And technology integration means implementation of technology. And this implementation also creates differentiated instruction to meet unique need of students. And individual students are different within a broad classroom climate. The classroom is not limited to their four walls, and each student has a different need. So using technology, it is possible that you adapt to the need of each student individually in a broader classroom environment. Why it is important? Why technology integration is important? There are a few points. Again, I am saying this is not an exhaustive list. There is a point that comes to my mind. Teaching is made easy. So technology make your job easy. Initially, you may find it difficulty because you need to adapt to technologies. But believe me, compared to teachers, students are much more flexible and adapting to technologies. So technology integration makes your job easy. It will engage the students. Students are more engaged when they are connected to the technologies. It will help the student to match with the different learning styles. There are some students who want to learn in the evening. There are some students who have a different time frame. There are slow learners, fast learners. So technology has a potential to meet up to that learning style of individual student. Through technology, it is very easy to track the progress of student. which was not earlier possible in a old classroom kind of environment. Effective collaboration work can also take place. Using technology, 5 faculties can take one class at a time. It is possible, which was not possible earlier. Information accessibility is also there. So when you use the technology, all kind of informations are available to you. So other than your teaching, you can pass on all this information to students. It may be a YouTube link, your blog, or anything else. It also increases knowledge retention, because this generation is a tech-savvy generation. So when you talk to them in the technology terms, there are more chance of retention of what is taught to them in the class. It encourages self-learning. Technology has a potential. Students learn on their own. So over a period of time, they develop their self-learning attitude. It also helps preparing the student with life skills like critical thinking, communication, problem solving. Because when they start learning on their own, they make lot many issues, and they need to communicate to teachers. So new kind of skills like critical thinking also developed. It also benefits teachers. Suppose I prepare this video for this class. Okay, next time I can run the same video. Okay, so it benefits to me as well. And when you use technology, you also learn the technologies. So it's beneficial to students also. So ultimately, when you use the technology, you are making learning effective. And for that, n number of platforms are there. There are enough technology available to us. There is no end in terms of what kind of technology you use. But here we are going to talk about some of the technological tools which are freely available, easily accessible, both teacher as well as students. And what are those platforms? So these are some of the tools I could have listed. PowerPoint presentation that we prepare. We have games. We have using Google Classroom calendars. When you create a class, and students will get the notification that on so and so time the class has been created. You can use video, multimedia lessons and presentation for the class, something that you are witnessing as of now. There are blogs, websites. You can, using Google, you can create free website. Using Google Blogger, WordPress, there are blogging sites which allows you to create free blogs. There are learning management systems also. So using Google Classroom, Google Doc, there's something called Google Jamboard. Some of you might have heard of it. Jamboard is nothing but a whiteboard where you and your students can draw the picture, image in a real-time situations. Then you have YouTube, where you can upload a video and just share the link with your students. They can attend your class as per their convenience. There's something called screen recording. Screen recording softwares are there. There are social media accounts. There are electronic whiteboards which can be used. There is something called Flip Learning, where students are given material in advance, and when it comes to the class is more of a discussion, not the learning side. There is Google Form, where you can conduct online quiz. There is Google Drive, where all reading material can be kept. There is Google Meet, which ultimately is used for video conferencing, live sessions, synchronous learning. How do we choose? What kind of platform we choose? That depends on a few parameters. Number one, compatibility. Second is accessibility, scale, classroom format, and there are subject specific needs. So keeping these 5 parameters in mind, you can have your own customized technological platform which can be used to make your classroom teaching more effective. And normally we call 5 pillars of online teaching. So these are normally the process that follows this. First, create a website, create a blog that gives you online presence, create your virtual network, create your YouTube channel, create your own blogs. So that is where you need to get into technologies. At second stage, after website and blogs are created, there is something called content creation. You need to design the content to be delivered in the class. That is called course management. You need to divide the entire course into deliverable, specific objectives, on what date which courses are going to be scheduled, and you need to give it a personalized touch. And once this entire system is done, it can be it results into marketing solution and social media. You need to promote, you need to engage for those social media platforms are available. So there are 5 pillars of online teaching. Using this pillar, you can create your own course as well. So I hope this learning has been beneficial to you. Happy teaching and happy learning. Thank you. Thanks a lot.